Good afternoon and welcome back to the panel discussion on municipalities in India 2047. The goal of 2047 can only be achieved by an all-inclusive governance involving stronger and more effective local governments, panchayats and municipalities. Cities remain our engine of growth, no doubt about that, and with increasing urbanization, the burden on the cities for services, housing, transportation, and particularly infrastructure is only mounting. By 2047, India's population is projected to be 164, meaning 1.64 billion people, an urban population at 800 million, half of that, which will require an estimated investment of nearly $1 trillion in upgrading the cities and cities infrastructure. The flip side is that our cities are financially emaciated and are not in a position to meet the increasing challenges of even governance at that level. Therefore, the panel discusses the imperatives on improving the financial avenues for the cities, leveraging schemes like PM Gati Shakti, Atmanirbhar Bharat, National Infrastructure Pipeline, journey for the next 25 years, reducing the urban-rural divide and embracing technology, and how to handle and tackle various existing structures of administration, planning and financing of urban bodies with increase in population. So to discuss all of this, we are joined by our esteemed panel, Mr. S.J. Vijay Amruta Kulange, Municipal Commissioner from Bhubaneswar Municipal Corporation. Mr. J. Sonal, Municipal Commissioner from Berhampur Municipal Corporation. Mr. Ram Bahadur Bhandari, he may not be able to join, facing some technical issues sitting in Gangtok. We are joined by Mr. Binu Francis, Secretary, Thiruvananthapuram Municipal Corporation, and Mr. Kumar Abhishek, Deputy Commissioner from Karol Bagh Zone and Nodal Officer, Swachh Survekshan, Municipal Corporation of Delhi. So we have quite a cross-section of panel. So let's look forward to have a very involved discussion and make a recommendation so that the objective of discussion is fruitful. So if I may throw the first question at the panel, which is how to improve the financing avenues of Indian cities and municipalities, and invite Bhubaneswar Municipal Corporation, Mr. Kulange, to respond.
Okay, good evening. So regarding these financial empowerment of from financial point of view, especially in Bhubaneswar, we are working from community participation point of view actually, because the revenue sources in Bhubaneswar, especially if you talk, so I would like to mention about our holding tax, property tax, then commercial tax, trade licenses, and how every citizen will be included, and how that ownership of citizenship will be developed. In that way, first at community level, I see activities, especially the person, the commercial professionals, what are their liabilities and how to pay them. Then from our side, how technology can be used, especially to ensure timely payment and hassle-free. So basically, citizens never hesitate to pay, but the way how to pay, that ease of the process, that is very important, and that's why we are working on that. And especially from sanitation point of view, I will tell how to ensure regular user fee collection, that revenue collection, which is helping for improve our sanitation process. We have developed that SAFA app, and also we have applied regarding that SAFA app for this SKOCH award. So in that SAFA app, there is payment gateway to collect that user fee, and we have tied up with banks and with the POS machine, and also through directly that SAFA app, so anybody can pay their user fees. So, and the same thing, we have we are ensuring we have our dedicated app Bhubaneswar.me. So anybody can, other than the sanitation user fee, if they have to pay their trade license fee, if they have to pay their other taxes like holding tax, so they can go through that portal and they pay. Apart from that, at our offices also we have opened these counters to ensure hassle-free tax collection. This one. And then real-time assessment is also very important when we talk about improving our revenue sources. Real-time assessment in the sense ki if anybody is taking permission for domestic purpose, that construction of building, and later he using for commercial purpose. So to identify and to re-verify. So we need that strong community involvement. Again, technology is there, but still ward level committees are very important where they are monitoring in their ward how many structures are there and for what purposes they are using actually. So that is very important. So in Bhubaneswar, both technology and then IEC through that technology and active participation from citizens, we are focusing on these both parallelly.
That's great. In fact, the experience of one state will be different from the experience of another state. But as far as the basic tenets of governance are concerned, that would be almost similar. So let me invite Mr. Binu Francis here from Thiruvananthapuram Municipal Corporation to understand as to, how is it that are you improving the financial avenues of your city?
Thank you for giving this opportunity. See, there are 4 mantras, especially in financial mobilization. One is to recourse whatever the relevant provisions that we have to implement the same. One thing. The second thing is undervaluation. The third thing is collection efficiency. If the 3 things are there, then there shall be, of course, 20 to 40% increase in revenue. One thing. The second thing is in Kerala, including Thiruvananthapuram Corporation, we have GS-based taxation method. Thereby, we can leave or cover all assessment, all buildings. What is the size, the exact size that we can bring to the tax domain? The third thing is land as a resource for this a tool for resource. There are so many lands which includes government land, even the private land like TDR or different levels of differentiation in FAR. So this became one of the major resource in terms of land as a resource. Then the fourth thing is PPP model. Why we are investing money from our pocket? If it is an infrastructure which is a cost recovery thing, we can invite the investors. Thereby, we can save our capital. One thing. The second thing is we can also exploit the possibility of having annuity, an additional income. The third thing is providing quality service. If we can provide a quality service, we can collect user fees in terms of recovery, then a kind of service charge, including some kind of profits, a margin. If it is the quality of service, of course, the people are willing to pay, the principal are willing to pay. Then coming to the fourth, if your sixth point is, if your institution is financially held, we can go for some kind of bonds for infrastructure works. So these are the 6 model which we can in this sixth model. After this 6 model, we have already implemented practice of 4 model, and we are working on the 5th and 6th model. Thank you.
So if I may ask you, when are you going for the municipal bonds? Because a few municipalities in India, starting with Hyderabad and then Pune and then a couple more, they have gone for
green bonds.
Yeah.
So our processing is going on. That's to certify whether it is AA plus or these things. The processing is going on. I think we can complete the process by September. If we get a good rating, then of course we can go. One thing. The second thing is we have enough provision in the Kerala Municipal Act, Section 300. That's we have option. But writing is very important thing in marketing this. Maybe by December we can plot this.
Good. So, Mr. Abhishek, you come from the one of the fortunate ones in municipal corporations sitting in Delhi, also being the capital city and with the obvious advantages. So what is your financial health, and how is it that are you looking at raising the financial avenues for yourself?
Thank you so much for having me here. So as you said that we are sitting in the capital, but the financial situation of MCD, as you may also be knowing, that it's not very good right now. There are several reasons to it. One of the major factor which we think that one of our problematic issue is the devolution of the funds from the intergovernmental transfers to the Municipal Corporation of Delhi becomes a problematic issue. We have quite a lot of liability with us as of now. Recently, the unification of MCD from the 3 erstwhile MCD has also happened because of this fact only, so that we can have a better financial health. So increasing revenue from the corporation side, yes, it is a very critical factor. And as Sirs has also already mentioned, that increasing the revenue is very important. And from Delhi perspective, the increase in the tax base with respect to property tax is very, very important. The usage of the technology, the GIS mapping of all the properties, and we can actually have a increased tax base which can help us in augmenting our resources. Then the other resources like the advertisement tax and the other avenues, the user charges, especially with respect to the sanitation services we are providing. So that also becomes a major source of revenue for the ULB. As you were talking about the green bonds, again, it will all depend upon the credit rating. So we are exploring it. This is under active consideration. Once our credit rating will improve, we will definitely go for the municipal bonds. So apart from that, I would also like to include the PPP models in terms of the projects which we are taking up. As Sir was already saying, that where the investors can actually invest and they can work. So why to spend your own money? So we have quite a few examples in Delhi. We have 4 waste to energy plants, big plants, where PPP model was used, where the company they are investing and they are running the plants. So we need to explore a PPP model on a more wider scale. And apart from that, the monetization of the land resources which we have, that is also quite an important factor which I feel we should actively look into if we are considering 20 years or 30 years next.
Yeah, in fact, almost with each and every municipal corporation, there's a whole lot of land parcels which are available, which either are lying redundant, not in usage, or not mapped. So asset mapping and management becomes very, very important. And this possibly to a great extent can help the cities to mobilize additional income and funds. So let me move over with this to Mr. J. Sonal, that apart from what the panel is discussing, additionally, do you see that the asset mapping is being done in an appropriate or in a manner wherein you can actually look at what are the assets under control and what can be utilized? Mr. Sonal.
Yeah, sure. Carrying forward the point, we are at Berhampur Municipal Corporation, we have actually done asset mapping and what is our potential to monetize our resources, and at present what is the extent of monetization that we have done. So on that we have actually come up with certain targets for ourselves. Suppose now it is true, it's a truism across all the municipal corporations that 80% of them are actually grant based, be it a devolution from the center or the state. Now, how do we actually increase the share of our own funds? For that, municipal corporation own huge amounts of empty lands as well as parks, amusement parks, various billboards. So there is a huge potential to monetize every kind of, from every poles that we own to every buildings that we own to every land parcels that we own. One good thing that Odisha has done recently is that the plan approvals and the fees that we get from the plan approvals, that has been taken away from the development authorities and given it to the urban local bodies, and development authority now only has the peripheral plan approvals. So now, because the plan approval has come to the ULBs, and Berhampur Municipal Corporation is actually taking each plan approval very seriously, not in a routine manner, and wherever the FAR needs to be purchased, where the setback needs to be purchased, those things have been meticulously looked at. So that, because this is a huge potential, last year only we saw that there was 200% increase in terms of plan money that or fees that we have received from the plan approvals. One more important point is about how do we actually utilize the various PPP models. Suppose a few years back, most of our market complexes or everything that we were constructing, we were doing it through either our devolution funds or from our own funds. But right now we have seen that if we can auction it, the auction spaces, we are getting very good amount of bids. So it is covering our expenses, and not only covering our expenses, we are also going in a profit model. And it will actually enhance our resources, and it will help us in spending elsewhere in some other welfare measures that we're doing. Apart from that, sanitation in the previous year has been a cost center. But right now what we are seeing is that, be it biomethanation or be it waste to energy plants that different ULBs are actually coming up with, we need to actually look into it, because right now the municipal solid waste, if you can divide it into the dry and wet waste, most of the municipalities know how to actually get profit out of it, be it through composting, windrow composting, or through biomethanation. But municipal solid waste, which is dry, there are only two ways, because the material recovery facilities, MRFs, are anywhere in the country are not more than 10% efficient. So 90% of the things that are going to MRFs are either going to cement factories as RDF or waste to energy plants as again fuel. But my thinking is that, and I think we need to brainstorm, most of our waste to energy plants are also not profitable as of today. So if we do not know how to actually get rid of or monetize, not only rid of, but monetize the dry waste, it is going to be a huge problem for all of us. So this is a thing that all of us are grappling with. And I think in the due course, we'll find more efficient ways to deal with that, and also to monetize that resource.
I agree with you, because there are so many best practices that have been created all around the country, but unfortunately there is not much of a learning that is taken from the other cities. Yes, to a great extent it happens, but yet a lot of good work goes unnoticed. Maybe because cities don't talk about it, it doesn't become a mainstream, national mainstream, or otherwise for whatever reasons. But that needs to be taken care of, because that way the projects will have a shorter life cycle of development and implementation. It will give long-term results, and a lot of time, energy, and money, all three can be saved. This takes me to the next question, which is how to leverage the national infrastructure programs like Gati Shakti, Atmanirbhar Bharat. We talk of national infrastructure pipeline and national monetization pipeline to boost infrastructure and economic development. All happens at the city level. So if I may go back to Mr. Vijay for this.
Okay, thank you. Regarding again Bhubaneswar, so these infrastructure type of projects, a lot of things happening in Bhubaneswar, especially. Again, I will come to basic things, what we are doing, and in collaboration with state and central government schemes. So mostly 2 days back also we had one meeting about zero emission. I will focus on that point. How our infrastructure development should be climate friendly. I think am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
So as a our infrastructure development, how can we ensure it more climate friendly? So especially we are working on that. See, one side we are doing a lot of developments like road, then transport system, improving public transport system, improving roads, adding more greenery while doing all these infrastructure work. That is our most prime objective in Bhubaneswar. How to develop open spaces.
I will interrupt you here. kindly allow me. I understand that the kind of infrastructure development that you are doing in your city, but I have a slightly different perspective to it, that, there are national programs, which is what you can leverage in addition to the infrastructure development initiatives which are being undertaken by you. So are you leveraging those national initiatives like Gati Shakti, Atmanirbhar Bharat and monetization pipeline and so on and so forth to boost your activities so that it happens faster?
No, not such that type of activities. Again, so what you mentioned, so in Bhubaneswar, still we are not working on that, but in that type of plans are there, but still we are not working on that.
Mhm. Okay, you were talking about the initiatives that you have taken for infrastructure.
Yes, yes.
Let's talk about
Mostly, you asked me about that infrastructure. That's what maybe it is irrelevant what you asked. But again, the how Bhubaneswar is infrastructure development will be sustainable from all point of view. We are focusing on that, and for that, whatever schemes are from central government, especially if we talk about smart city, those cities project, then other projects like especially for sanitation, we are working on that in that way. But that you ask about monetization, then Atmanirbhar Bharat, maybe skill development point of view. Some project we started in smart city project, especially skill development. So here we are giving training for people who are coming from slum areas, basti areas. So we are picking them and we are training them to get so that they can get self-dependent. That skill will empower them to get some employment. So this type of 3 centers we are running in Bhubaneswar right now in collaboration with other CSR partners, then Smart City Mission Fund and from state government fund. We are running in that way. So it may be near close to Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Sure. Thank you so much. I now invite Mr. Francis.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, coming to Atmanirbhar Bharat and Gati Shakti, of course, it's a national government's program, it's a flagship program. But regarding a city government, how we can exploit the possibilities, of course, we are doing. One thing is to facilitate what the government of India is doing. That's some kind of permission or facilitation. So that will happen here. One thing, especially some land acquisition program is also going on in connection with the widening of NH. Okay, so we have a good role in supporting or facilitating these kind of initiatives. One thing. Then how we can monetize the projects which are coming. 2 examples that we have. One is seaport, that is Vizhinjam, supported by Adani Group as a kind of PPP project. And the second one is we have the Thiruvananthapuram International Airport, which is also taken over by Adani recently, just 2-3 years back. So in Vizhinjam, which is in the city limits, where we have developed some economic zone, and we have separate DTB schemes so as to facilitate the kind of development that is coming near that particular area. One thing. The second thing is, again, coming to the Thiruvananthapuram International Airport, where they want exactly this, we have only 1.8 kilometer is the runway. So, to widen or to enlarge the length, we are also supporting the government and this agency to acquire more land so that we can more flights from other parts of the country, so that the connectivity is good in good condition, so that we can have so many conference and some conclaves. The foreign investors, foreign diplomats will come here. So the connectivity, of course, now we have more connectivity in Kochi in compared to Toronto. Since there we have a good airport, CL airport is here. So once it is developed, the hotel, see, we have more than 44 5-star hotel as per the rating, which is the highest in India, considering the state level. Only 40 that's in Maharashtra. So we have 5-star hotel within the city. If more hotel are coming, so more accommodation is providing, and these kind of exhibitions or conclave or conferences and foreign or the national diplomats are coming, of course, the business economy will be on the higher sides, so that we can monetize the same by way of tax on such things only. The second thing is, of course, the self-reliant finances. So we have smart city program, Amruta program, NULM and PMA. Of course, we have another 24 years by 2047. We can have the kind of things, and this the institution is, the city corporation is moving towards this, and we have NSG and this kind of things, and we are mobilizing these things so that the poverty content is reducing. As per Nidhi Aayog's reports, Kerala is in the top, and Trivandrum City Corporation, which have only 625 families in the extreme poverty, by within a period of 1 or 2 years, we can eliminate the extreme poverty within 2 years. So these are the activities going on the second part. Of course, we can monetize the investment which is happening through the national programs like Gati Shakti. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sonal?
Yes. So tying into the vision of projects like Atmanirbhar Bharat, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha has actually launched a grand program called the Mission Shakti campaign or Mission Shakti scheme, in which what we have done is that throughout the state, thousands of Mission Shakti groups or MSGs have been formed. MSGs were formed some 4 or 5 years back. But now what has happened is that Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha has given a vision to transform each of these MSGs into the next level, which is MSMEs. Now, I will just give an example. These MSGs are comprised of mainly either women self-help group females, transgenders, people who are actually from the very low-income groups like the rickshaw pullers or the other urban destitutes. So under us, our flagship program like called Mukta, we are taking these goals. I will give one example. In Berhampur, the Berhampur city is known as Silk City, because the silk sarees or the other which are produced in this place was actually famous. But in the course of time, the weavers, due to lack of support, were actually moving away, and those laborers who were actually producing high quality silk sarees were actually being transferred into migrant workers, and they were moving to states like Gujarat or Tamil Nadu. To redress this and to revive the pride of the Silk City, Berhampur Municipal Corporation constructed a huge weaving unit. We provided all the infrastructure like water facility, electricity. Even we provided a showroom where the finished product, the showroom they have, like any good mall or any big brand that you go, there's a big showroom. Here in this showroom, people can come, they can choose the sarees, and then they can also order whatever design they want to. So we formed this weavers group, and the weavers, we are not getting any other facility. We gave them raw materials, we gave them a place, and now weavers are coming. Their children are also interested in actually taking it forward and learning new designs. And we have also tied up with various fashion designers, design institutes, and also the market like different brands. So right now, I will just give a small example. The sarees that they make are actually only, if you take it from them, are only costing us 10,000. But the same sarees are available at 20,000 or 25,000 in the shopping malls. Who is actually benefiting? The people who are actually middlemen. So if we can bring the customers right to our infrastructure facility that we are right now doing, whatever the profit will go directly into the pockets of the weaver themselves. So this producer group, the weavers group that we have formed, they will only produce, they will do the sales and everything, because their own members are also selected as salesperson, and they are doing it. So right now we are in the process of scaling it up and taking it outside the country also, because we are very confident that we'll get orders from outside the country. So these are the initiatives that we have taken. One small initiative that I am saying, which has huge potential, not only in generating income, but also to keep the pride of the city as Silk City, which was known previously.
Thank you. Mr. Abhishek?
So in Delhi, the Swachh Bharat mission and the Amrut mission, which are very much part of the PM Gati Shakti. So I would like to mention one particular project which we are doing under Swachh Bharat mission, which is the bio-mining of the legacy waste, which is there. You may be knowing in Delhi, there are three very big mountains, garbage mountains are there. So the work has already started there, and about 20 to 25,000 ton per day. The bio-mining is happening, which has been taken up under the Swachh Bharat mission. With respect to Amrut mission, we have initiated some water body rejuvenation projects and some development of the drains, in the big drains in Delhi, which we are taking up. Apart from that, yes, with respect to Atmanirbhar Bharat and the other programs of Government of India and the state government also, we keep on initiating several projects, and we keep on doing all the development related work with respect to the jurisdiction of MCD. I would like to just tell here that with respect to the bigger roads and the sewage system, this is not the part of the MCD. This is under Delhi Jal Board and the PWD of the state government. So whatever sectors we have, we are definitely exploring different ways of exploiting the schemes and the resources which are there.
The next important question that comes to one's mind is the widespread migration which is happening from the districts, primarily because of lack of employment opportunities. So that means to say that employment opportunities have to increase. And coming to talk about cities alone, the rural settlements are already transforming to peri-urban areas, to tier 3 and tier 4 towns, meaning to say the cities are expanding. So A, how are you gearing up for this expansion in terms of infrastructure, and B, creation of opportunities? Let me start once again with Mr. Vijay.
Thank you. Recently, Government of Odisha started working on same issue. You mentioned about migration from rural area to urban, and especially if I say about Bhubaneswar, so apart from our jurisdiction, DMC area, there is periphery area which is we can call as a urban or semi-urban. Here we are not giving services, urban services, but that area is almost like urban. So again, it is a big challenge to accommodate them from a service point of view and infrastructure point of view. And second, how to ensure their livelihood, how to create opportunities also. So both things now we are working on that. First, how we are going to accommodate them in proper way. So we have already, Government of Odisha already have finalized the policy, and it will be implemented immediately. That policy is how to ensure proper accommodation of these semi-urban area. So from infrastructure point of view, first we'll ensure proper infrastructure. Now there is Gram Panchayat, there is self-help self-help government. It's run by Panchayat Raj department in periphery area. We call it as a Gram Panchayat, and entire local administration is run by that GP. So we'll not disturb that GP till election, next election. But till election, we'll ensure filling of infrastructure gap like road, drainage system, drinking water system, sewage system. And will ensure it will be one type of coordination between urban department and Panchayat Raj department. And in coordination, that work will be ensured. Now it is going to start. And once that completed, at the time your Gram Panchayat tenure also be over, and then that entire area will be accommodated with our urban area in Bhubaneswar. And after that, next that Panchayat Raj election will be not conducted in that area, and that area will be treated as part of our BMC area. Officially, it will be treated. So this first filling up of infrastructure gap, ensuring all that basic civic amenities for that area, and after that accommodation. And second part, you mentioned about how to create opportunities. Again, this from land development point of view, planning point of view, how to ensure land availability for more job creation, to ensure proper some other commercial activities, industrial activities. Already government is working on that. We have single window system where we can anybody can apply for any industrial or any commercial activity, and IDCO is there one organization which is creating land bank, ensuring land bank, especially for this periphery area. And one more challenge now in Bhubaneswar, once in this old city, core city, Again, we have to shift some commercial activities in periphery area also. So that is also one continuous process. You can't go with special, matlab, like wholesale market inside town. You have to find out land in peri-urban, semi-urban areas, that periphery. So that process is also going on. Once all these type of activities shifted in outside, again, it is creating opportunities in that area also. So from industry point of view, commercial point of view, that area is developing like anything. And especially very important, you must have seen ki area to aa jata in these jurisdiction, but these newly added area always face infrastructure gap, infrastructure issues. And again, everybody blames ki we are the part of this urban body, but we are still living in rural type of scenario. So we are going to work on that in advance so that there will be no any differences. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Francis, a quick one from your side.
This is actually interesting, this story that we have, especially on migration. So I will share two data. In Kerala, we have 34 lakhs people from other states, especially from Assam, Odisha, and West Bengal and Bihar. That's from that point. Okay. And again, 22 lakhs people are living or doing their jobs in Middle East or in other countries. So this is a story. Okay, one thing. The second thing is what is happening in Kerala is we have urban-rural continuum. So we cannot distinguish which is an urban area, which is an urban area. In DMC, we have 941 Gram Panchayat and 93 urban local bodies. Recent study shows that the people migrating from rural area to urban area is not happening in Kerala. In the last census in 2011, 3 urban local bodies there, the population has declined around 1% or 2%. That is in Thiruvananthapuram, that is in the central part of Tranam. Okay, this is the story. Why this migration is not happening? One is pull migration and push migration. If the factory is not there, then why people are coming to urban area? If the facilities are available in the urban area, is also available in the rural area, why people are switched over to there? In Kerala, almost all the urban facilities are also available in the rural area. If it is in terms of education, if it is in terms of health or other facilities, road connectivity, net connectivity, or communication facilities, even almost all the facilities are available in rural area. So that kind of migration is not happening in Kerala only. The second thing is what is happening in urbanization. Since we have now 47.8% population is in the urban area as per the last census 2011, where in my case in Trivandrum, for the last 20 years, we have annexed 11 Gram Panchayat into the territory of Trivandrum Corporation. Actually, we have only 74 kilometers square. Now it is 215 kilometers square. That's the one thing. The second thing is, in the last 10 years, we have only 56 municipalities. Now we have 96 municipalities, 93 municipalities. So the urbanization is happening in their bed. Oh, I'm sure that the migration is not happening here, since almost all the facilities are available in the rural area. One thing. The second thing is the cities or the urban areas are not providing that kind of employment. So people, there is no need to push or pull here, since that kind of facility available here, there. One thing. The second thing is that kind of employment opportunities not here in the urban area. So this is an entirely different story that we have. Thank you.
Thank you. Abhishek ji, how is it different in your case? And your challenges would be dramatically different because
yeah, so Delhi being
Delhi happens to be a city of dreams. Everyone comes here to fulfill that.
So Delhi being the capital, it is actually a second home for each and everybody. Some people are coming here for educational purposes, people are coming for medical facilities, for employment related opportunities. So migration is a reality. And yes, it has put pressure on the urban civic communities also in this capital of Delhi. We have been hearing in the news also the amount of pollution, the amount of traffic, and recently the urban flooding which is happening. It is all because of the pressure on the civic communities and the population. I would just like to share this data that right now the population of Delhi is 2.2 plus CR. And in another 7 to 9 years, it is going to be 3 plus CR. So the population load is huge. So with respect to that, I would like to say that in a city like Delhi or other metropolitan cities, the approach would be a bit different. there should be a vertical expansion of the urban areas rather than the horizontal development of the cities. So in that regard, I would say that the necessary changes in the master plan, necessary changes in the building bylaws had to be done so that we can accommodate the people. Yes, in cities like Delhi, we have to provide world-class infrastructure, world-class basic amenities also to the citizens, and along with it, we have to provide we have to take care of the urban poor also. So the planning should be inclusive. It has to have a 20 to 30 years of vision when we are developing our master plan, our land use. We have to ensure that the climate change is part of our municipal budgeting. We have to ensure that the migration, which is going to be increased only, so it has to be part of our planning, our master plan development. So this needs to be done. Then apart from that, I also would like to share one very critical data with respect to Delhi. This is again an internal analysis of MCD. So by 2033, we won't be having any extra land for solid waste management. I mean, whatever the present land situation is there with respect to us, it is going to be at the break-even point at 2033, and after that, we need to explore more land apart from what we have in the municipality. So, technological solutions we have to think of, that how we can actually leverage whatever the scarcity of land is there, and that in that land, what technological solutions we can introduce so that our civic amenities are at world-class level, and other services like solid waste management, drainage system, all are working fine.
I know, I agree with you that the problems, in fact, and the solutions, problems are running faster than the solutions which are being provided. Cities are becoming resilient, but they are under pressure at this moment because of widespread migration, lack of opportunities in the districts, and cities attract almost everyone from, as I said, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, in the rural areas. And once anybody migrates, because our cities are under construction, that's the reason as to why we always require a lot of labor force, which is coming into the cities. And while it gives them an opportunity, we find it difficult to provide them food, shelter, and the other basic amenities, which is what they need. And once then it becomes a vicious cycle. Once the construction is over, rather than going back home, they engage in alternate activities, and it keeps on increasing the pressure on the cities. Yeah, but the experience of Kerala, Mr. Francis, here it is different for you because you are largely an urban state with very little of rural areas left there, and the development has reached the nook and corner. But maybe something which is what last, I will move over to Mr. Sonal for his concluding comments before we close the discussion. Over to you.
Yeah. So taking forward, Odisha government has already come up with the scheme that was already pointed out by Municipal Corporation Commissioner Vijay sir. Apart from that, there are only 2 points that I would like to add. What is happening is that there are 2 data points as to what is the rate of urbanization. It is either 24% or 31%. Be it as it may, by 2050 it would be 50% urbanization in all the urban areas. The carrying capacity of the urban local bodies, in both in terms of urban housing or in terms of traffic or the vehicle carrying capacity, is already in the breaking point. So what needs to be done is that there is two things that I need to point out, that people who are actually migrating into cities like tier 3 cities like Berhampur. Now people who are coming into Berhampur are actually landless people who do not have land elsewhere, or have lost their land due to various other financial calamities. Now, what is happening is that there is a scheme called Vasundhara scheme, in which actually those people who are landless are being settled. Only thing is that they are not settled inside the corporation area. There are 5 corporations in Odisha. None of the people who are actually coming into the corporations and who are landless are actually given land parcels by the government of Odisha, which is just outside the corporation periphery limits. So what is happening is that once they are given the land, then they are also being provided affordable housing. either through the development authorities or through PMAY urban, or as the case may be, PMAY rural. So in those places we are actually building the housing facilities, and in that vicinity we are providing all the service facilities. Like one example that I will point out, in Berhampur Municipal Corporation, there are 5 surrounding panchayat areas. Those panchayat areas find it very difficult to dispose their fecal sludge. Now, Berhampur Municipal Corporation has a 2 FSTPs, fecal sludge treatment plant, which is 100 KLD capacity. Now, these panchayats actually under the rural-urban scheme of Government of Odisha, what we have done is that through the convergence of urban and rural bodies, we are actually taking care of the disposal of the fecal sludge. Though FSTPs that we have actually tagged those panchayats with our FSTPs. This is one sector in which actually we are providing the services that we are providing in the urban to the rural. Similarly, our urban primary health centers. We have 14 urban primary health centers, and it is a matter of pride that almost all of our EPSCs are INQUA certified, which is the highest certification. This actually people, and these are mostly catering to the low-income groups and people who are actually coming from the periphery. Now, our OPD footfalls are so high that, and this also ties into our Arogyam program, which actually has been nominated for our this thing semi-final. So that actually caters to one of our health services and sanitation services to the peripheral areas, and through building affordable houses in those peripheral areas under the Vasundhara scheme, we are actually taking care of one part of the problem. But having said this is a huge problem. And all of us in the next 20 years, where in 2050, 50% of our cities will be, population will be urbanized, we are going to face this problem both infrastructurally and human resource wise.
So let's hope for the best that, all the efforts which are going into our cities, advancement, infrastructure development, improvement in the civic delivery of services, water, and the various avenues of income from the user charges, from revenue water, from property tax collection, so on and so forth. The cities become prosperous, they become affluent, and are able to undertake the burden of expansion rather than being dependent on the grant and the aid, both state and the center. But the fact remains that today the situation is otherwise. Well, we have gone a long way. A lot of things have dramatically improved. But yes, till such time we have the real money in hand, we will not be in a position to roll out those kind of ambitious plans, which is what the cities have. But yes, the glass it certainly should be seen as half full. Thank you very much for joining us for this discussion, Binuji, Vijayji, Sonalji, and Abhishekji, for making this discussion very lively. And we look forward to engaging with you soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your discussion. Thank you.